Guys, it's James with Rogue Duelist Trade. Welcome back to the channel, and that's right, I spent about $1,034 on 18 boxes of Eternity Code, so that's a case and a half. Guys, this episode is going to be an investment discussion on Eternity Code. Now, this is actually my first case that I've purchased, but I'm actually really excited about this set, and there's plenty of reasons why. Eternity Code may be one of the best sets that we've had in a really long time, and that actually says a lot. This is actually a dawn of a new era for Yu-Gi-Oh! Because we're doing away with rares. That's right, we will no longer have rares moving forward, at least for core sets that we're aware of today. But this is a big deal because the game's changing and of how we buy cards moving forward, starting with Eternity Code. So this is really gonna be the set that sets the stage, no pun intended, for how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to be moving forward for how we're gonna be buying cards. And with Konami getting rid of rares, we're actually gonna be getting a lot more of the higher rarities. So in this set, we're actually getting 10 secret rares, 14 ultra rares, 26 super rares and 50 commons. So I believe it's 100 cards, if I'm doing my math right. It's a 100 card set. The fact that we're getting higher rarities in addition to the ability to potentially get a prismatic, that's pretty awesome. Now, obviously you have the law of supply and demand. So if we're gonna be getting a lot of those high rarities, if they have done away with short printing, and just to note, that was noted in the EU, will no longer be short printing, although I don't believe we've had confirmation yet in North America. So who knows if that's actually gonna happen. But the fact that we have a higher chance, perhaps, of getting greater rarities and with there being more rarity options or more card options in those higher rarities, we very well may be able to better plus with this set. You're gonna see that there's a lot of support for archetypes that are very popular today, and there's a lot of generic support inside of this set, in addition to a lot of anime support. This is actually the last set to wrap up all the cards coming out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns. So I'm actually gonna make a prediction on this channel right now, on this episode, that we are gonna be getting a lot of value from this set because of the import coming from Yu-Gi-Oh! Link Reigns. We're gonna have a lot of generic support. We're gonna have a lot of current archetype support for very popular archetypes that are coming out of this set. So sit tight, guys, get ready. We're gonna go and do a deep dive and do a quick discussion on this. We're gonna see if this video is gonna prove true when I do this opening coming up in just a couple months. Guys, if you want me to bring out more content like this video, subscribe to this channel, make sure you hit the notification bell icon so then you can see whenever I post a new video. And also leave a comment down below. Let me know, what are you looking forward to in this set? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Am I overseeing anything that maybe I should have discussed in this video? Please let me know. I want to be able to take your feedback and grow this channel and kind of build the content around what you guys want to see. All right, let's get into the set. This is the full set list from the OCG because that's really all we have to go off of right now. You already can see that we have things like Code Breakers, Salamandrates, although they may only be commons, Goki, Marinecess. That's something to take note of. If you go over and you jump over to what we have here on TCG Player, the Marinecesses are holding some value. And if you guys have seen in the market when Marinecess came out in previous sets, there was a lot of promise and a lot of people were buying out the cards to where they were spiking up. Now they're at probably an all-time low, but you could probably imagine that when this set comes out and you get more Marinecess support, the value of these cards are going to go up as well. So I would hold your Marinecess cards if you guys are planning on selling them or if you have no intention of playing the deck. Things like the Deep Sea archetype. Now Sea Serpents is going to be a lot more relevant in the upcoming meta. You've seen there's a lot of cards that are being bought out right now in the marketplace. When a set list is released and you start seeing a lot of cards that are either in that archetype, attribute, or monster type, and those cards are starting to be bought out, that's a good indicator that when that set is actually released, those cards are likely going to get bought out as well. So we can be pretty happy that we're going to be getting some added value here. See, Deep Sea Artisans are rare, so they're not the highest rarities in this set, but that does not mean that's what the rarities are going to be in the TCG. Now you should also note when we start going through here, there's a lot of cards that are very low rarity considering their effects and their effect in the meta. So we're likely going to be seeing different rarities for some of these cards as we go into the TCG. We have Sanka cards, which I believe is Ancient Warriors in the TCG. I don't think there's a ton of value in it yet, but they're getting a lot more support. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 additional monsters that are going to be added into the archetype. Now, that actually, again, will bring up the value for the Ancient Warriors that had came out in Ignition Assault previously, because now there might be a better strategy that's going to be coming out of the whole set kind of coming together. Now, the card, this is going to be the money card, guys. I really believe this. The Mekk-Knight Orcust Girsu. Now, this card is nuts, and with Heartboard being banned, this is going to be where the Orcust players investing their money. They're going to be wanting to get a set of this. This card is going to be free at 3. Once the set comes out, we'll have to wait until the next ban list before something would get hit. And it probably wouldn't get hit so soon after the set being released anyways. So Orcust is already doing pretty well in the meta, even without Harpor. Once we throw this guy in, there's going to be a Mekk-Knight Orcust strategy that's probably going to be nuts. This card's really good. I don't read a lot of cards on this channel, but I'm going to read this one. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send 1 Orcust or World Legacy. Guys, that's crazy. There's synergy with other archetypes. This card is a blend of multiple archetypes. That's just nuts. You don't see that every day. You can send 1 Orcust or World Legacy card from your deck to the graveyard. Then, if 2 or more other cards are in this card's column, this card is treated as a tuner this turn. I mean, so now you can even treat this card as a tuner where you can go into synchro plays. That's pretty crazy. If you control no other monsters, you can special summon 1 World Legacy token. So you even can get additional resources on the board, and so considered a World Legacy card, to both players' fields in defense position. You can only use each effect of Mekk-Knight Orcust Girsu once per turn. So it's not one effect once per turn. You can use all of its effects at least once per turn. This card's just crazy, guys. This card's crazy. It's a Foolish Burial for Orcust and World Legacy cards. It has Mekk-Knight in the name. Guys, this card is going to be the money card. Honestly, this is probably one of the prime reasons why I felt this set is a great investment, because this one card alone is going to be high dollar, and there's lots of other cards that are going to probably be between the $15 to $30 to maybe even $40, and there's multiples of those cards. So let's go ahead and keep digging in. Keep note of this card. Gosh, we even see some Thunder Dragon support in here, even though it's a common. We have Dragonmaids. Guys, Dragonmaids. I believe there's 2 Dragonmaid cards in here, and this card is a super rare, secret rare, so I believe that's the Starlight rare. So, guys, Dragonmaids are cards that people are just running after. If we go and look at the TCG, you can see that the cards that are already out for Dragonmaid, for the little amount of cards that there are, is very high. Yeah, you can already see the value for Dragonmaids right now are already very high. Looking at the cards that came out of Mystic Fighters, I mean, just the Field Center alone is $15, and then you start getting into the $2. But I think you could probably make a really strong assumption that the Chamber Dragonmaid, and I believe there's another Dragonmaid inside the set, is going to have a lot of value. So there's some money cards right there as well. So we have some more Unchained, which hasn't really taken off, but we do have another Gizmek card that is going to be coming out. And this card is considered to be an ultra rare, and I believe it can also be a Starlight, at least in the OCG. Guys, Gizmek, I think it's maybe $40 for the card that came out of Ignition Assault. So we can also assume this is going to be a money card as well. We have some more Invoke support, and we have another Dragonmaid, as I mentioned. So we have Invoked. That card is actually doing very well right now with at least in the current meta. and it's a popular archetype. And again, we have another Dragonmaid. This is a fusion card, 3,500 attack. It's a big boy. All it requires is a Dragonmaid monster and 1 level 5 or higher dragon monster. If Dragonmaids ever become relevant in the meta, it could be a good super poly target. And this card is a ultra rare with the ability to potentially be a Starlight rare, at least in the OCG. This is gonna have a lot of value, guys. Both of the Dragonmaids, it's gonna be a good investment. We have some trap trick support. I don't think we've seen some good trap trick support in a really long time. It's an Xyz monster. You have a guy's trap trick support, and they actually have a card that works really well with trap tricks in this set. That's also a very good generic card. But yeah, we have more Code Talker cards, which is Access Code Card Talker. This is actually the boss card for Playmaker in Link Vrains, which is actually a Link 4. And the card's pretty powerful. It's a 2+ effect monster. Guys, just for the value of this being an anime card, this is probably going to be a card that people are going to be wanting to get. Although Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid, which came out I believe in Chaos Impact, which is actually short printed, and I think it's only about $5 or so right now, although more people are investing into the card because of the Archetype set. And so it actually works pretty well there. There is a high chance that this card will probably have some high value as well. As we keep digging through the Arrival, which was the companion of Playmaker inside of Link Vrains. This was his boss card, and this is the only Link 6 monster that we may ever see, although there may be more that'll come in the future, but in the anime, this is the only Link 6 card that there is. It's a good card. It's a very good card. It can get very big. It's really good in Archetypes. We'll see what happens. There's actually been a lot of buyouts for the Archetypes in the TCG. Let's actually take a look at that right now and kind of see where they're sitting. And from high to low, I mean, Picari is a $10 card. Achichi is a almost $11 card, and then it drops pretty quick. Dark Templar is $1. Dion's 60 cents. But actually, it's the field spell. Yeah, Archetype Island is $27. I don't think people anticipated that card to go up so high. So we have some more code breakers. These are all commons, at least in the set. There's a lot of Go keys that are coming out here. Another Marinecess, ultra rare, secret rare, with the ability to be a Starlight. And this is a Link 4 monster. Probably going to be a really good boss monster for Marinecess. So once per turn during the standby phase, you can banish one face-up water monster you control, which should be easy, or in your graveyard. Draw 1 card, so it gives you draw power. It's a +1 if you can get it on the field. Each time a monster is banished, this card gains 600 attack. For each monster banished until the end of this turn, you can send 1 water monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon one of your banished Marinecess monsters. You can only, wow, so you can actually bring back more resources with it too, and you can use all of its effects once per turn. Yeah, this is going to be probably a money card for Marinecess. I would imagine that a Marinecess player is going to want to play this, which adds some more reason as to why there's going to be some value in this set. So we actually have the Water Charmer coming out of Eternity Code. I believe this is the last one. I believe there's Fire, Earth, Wind, and now we're going to get Water. Just for that fact, this card's going to be worth something. I'm sure it's going to be a Starlight rare in the set. It might not be extremely high, but it'll be worth something. We have some more Archetype support. Burning Draw, which is, I believe, a Salamangreat card. So there's some more Fiend support for Infernoids. So you're getting Infernoid support in this set as well. Interesting. Medolce. Now you guys probably saw, I already have a tab open for Medolce, but there's a few times where Medolce was mentioned. Let's see, we got Medolce Salon, Medolce Promenade. There's been a lot of people that have been investing in Medolce ever since the meta change. And with Master Rule 5 coming out, if you go and look at the value of Medolces, you have a $39, $25, $20, practically $20. You have one person selling it for 16, 16, 11, and then you start hitting in the twos. That's Medolces have a lot of value. That is not a cheap deck to build. So you would imagine that these cards are at least going to be in the twos, and if they're a common, well, you know, maybe they might even be $1. But there's a lot of cards that are probably going to be low rarity. They're actually going to be worth something. You know, honestly, if a card's worth like 50 cents and you have 500 of those cards after you pull so many cards out of a case, you can actually make some money back. There's some decent value that you can actually get from those commons, or you know, no longer rares. Now it'd be super rares. So now here we have another card here. We have Grave Hole. So this card can actually be searched off of the Traptrix archetype, and it is a generic support for any deck. And essentially, it's a Call by the Grave in trap form. I could see this being a card that people would probably run and going for strategies. You can't really go wrong with this. This really covers a whole gambit. You're negating cards in the hand, graveyard, or banished. The only thing you're not negating is on the field. But this is so easy to take advantage of. I would probably like it a little bit more if it also banished the card, because sometimes you can continue activating a monster's effect in your graveyard if it's not once per turn. But this is very good. I mean, 2,000 damage to your opponent. It's not to you. It's not like it's one of the Solemns where you're taking damage for negating. You're actually dealing damage to your opponent. And it's also worth mentioning, we have Evening Crescent and Autumn Shower. So she falls under, I don't really know if you can call it an archetype. The Ash Blossom set, the girls, the hand trap girls. So if your opponent's, so this card is essentially a monster effect negate, but it's a little bit different. If your opponent special summons a monster face up, you can discard this card, then target one of those monsters this turn, negate that target's effects. Also, if that target leaves the field this turn, the player who controlled that monster takes damage equal to the target's original attack. Now, there are cases where you may want to be using some of the other monster negates over this, but this card's very good. I would probably want to have a set of 3 of this, because there's probably going to be reasons why you would want to prefer to run this card, especially that damage that you can deal your opponent based on that monster's attack. If it's just like a combo card and they're going to get rid of it anyways, you could actually see a lot of value in this. Yeah, let's quickly look at what these cards are costing in the OCG. I was kind of looking at some of the higher dollar cards, and look at this Dragonmaid, $36, and that's in the OCG. Yeah, Access Code Tarker, which is the boss monster in Link Frames for Playmaker, at least for the last few episodes, $47. And we have Dragonmaid Chaimu, which is almost a $91 card. Wow, she's $151, and I think this is the Starlight Rare, so that would make sense that it would be higher in value, and actually in the TCG that's going to be higher. And we can look here at the Traptrix Xyz monster, $132 for the Starlight Rare. So the non-Starlight Rare version of Evening Crescent is $13 in the OCG. I mean, if we're putting that type of value, usually the value in the OCG cards are a lot lower than the value that TCG cards for some reason. It's probably due to short printing and whatnot. But yeah, guys, I think from what we're seeing here, this is a very solid set to invest in. A lot of these cards are going to be meta relevant. A lot of these cards have collector's value. A lot of these cards are going to be supporting archetypes, probably for a lot of fan favorites, such as Dragonmaid, such as Traptrix, such as Medolce. Gosh, that Orcust, Mekk-Knight card is nuts. People are going to be running after that card. I'm telling you guys, that's going to be one of the first cards to buy out when the set releases. So yeah, I feel very, very good about this set. I think we're going to be getting our return on this for sure. So again, I spent $1,034 on 18 boxes. The pre-order was for May 1st. But hopefully we'll be getting it a little bit early. So in about a couple months, we'll be doing a very large case and a half opening, and I'll probably do it a little bit different to where I'll just kind of plow through and kind of let you guys see the value cards that we're going to be pulling out of the set. I'm sure we're going to have another discussion when the TCG set list actually releases. But I feel very comfortable saying that this is probably going to be one of the best investments. Again, Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami is completely changing the rules for what they've been doing in their sets. No more rares, higher secret rares, higher ultra rares. They're going to want to make sure this set is good because of all the changes they're making. Do you guys see what I see? Do you feel like the investment's there? What are you guys most excited to see? Leave me comments down below. I'm sure there's archetypes I'm not as familiar with that I may have skimmed through that actually have a lot of value. Please let me know what they are. We'll probably bring those up in another discussion video. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. We'll keep making content, and we're gonna make a business together at a Yu-Gi-Oh! And we're going to try to make the best investments possible. Enjoy the ride. Thank you. See you next time.